Hi Tiger fans, this is Brad Rose, the athletic director at Valley High School, and we want to welcome you back to athletics and activities at Valley. We're excited to get the season started. I got a few tips for the guidelines for coming to practice and for games for our students and for our fans. First of all, we're out here on the north side of the pool entrance. You can see our main athletic entrance. We're going to have the girls basketball team, when they practice, they're going to park over here in the northeast lot, and then the swimmers are going to park here in the northwest lot. They're going to enter these two sets of doors for their practices respectively, and they'll come out the main entrance for girls basketball, and the swimmers will come out the pool door when they're here. With the wrestlers and boys basketball teams will be parking on the west side of our building, and they'll be using the west band and pool doors, and then they'll exit the main west doors as well. When you show up for a game to watch your son or daughter, what we're going to have you do is the home team, the Valley Tigers, are going to park in this north lot. They're going to enter here, make a left, pay to go in, and they'll sit in the bleachers, and Nate will explain that to you later. When we exit, we'll come out the main Valley doors and come back out to the parking lot so that the teams coming in for the next game can use this entrance as well. The visiting fans will enter from the west, come through and pay, and they'll exit through the main west doors to go back out to their car. What we hope that does is it limits the amount of crossover, contamination, or traffic that we might have from within the building. Thank you for adhering to these rules and guidelines.
Hi Valley families, this is Nate Lingren. I'm the Athletics and Activities Coordinator for Valley High School. I work with Brad Rose in the athletic office. Today I'm going to take you on a visual tour through the building and just kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like on game nights when you come to watch your kids play. This is the main athletic entrance. This is where we want you to enter. Mr. Rose had already talked about utilizing the north parking lot. And this is the doors that we're going to use. Just as a reminder, general guidelines when you're coming to any event on a West Des Moines Community Schools facility, masks are required at all times. Social distancing, we'll have markers set out on the floor for social distancing. We'll show you examples when we get inside. And then also social distancing in the bleachers. We'll have those marked out with tape lines, and you'll do in groups of 2, and we'll cover that more when we get towards the ticket entrance inside the building. And also just a reminder, if you have any symptoms, if a fever of 100.3 or higher, you are not permitted to come to any activities on our West Des Moines Community Schools facilities. All right, now we continue our virtual tour through Valley High School on what it's going to look like when you attend games and practice this year at Valley High School. Right now we are at the main ticket entrance, and this is where our ticket seller will be posted up for every wrestling match and boys and girls basketball game. You can see on the floors that we have social distancing signs placed on the floor to remind people to separate and maintain those social distancing lines where you're in line for ticket sales, concessions, and restrooms. Tickets work this year based off of a guidance from the state and also through the CIML. For all Valley home fans, you will be issued plastic voucher cards to the coaches that go to the players that will be distributed to you at home. Each player and coach gets 2 of these. You have to show these to the ticket seller when you attend, and then you can buy your ticket. For visiting fans attending Valley, you will need to check in under your child's name on the roster that our ticket seller will have at the table. You will also be allowed 2 tickets. Exact change is appreciated, just to limit touch points for our ticket sellers. So anything you can do to help us out, we thank you in advance. Ticket sales do open 60 minutes prior to competition. However, due to us clearing the gyms after every level of competition, we're only allowing those fans in for that game. So if you're scheduled to start at 7 o'clock, we encourage you to not to arrive until shortly before then, to allow us to get the current fans out of the facility, get the bleachers and chairs disinfected, and then we'll allow you to purchase your ticket and enter. When Valley travels to other schools' gymnasiums for wrestling and basketball, it will be up to that host school to determine what their policy is for tickets. They will either use a roster checkoff system like we do here, or they will issue us wristbands to check out to the teams prior to that competition. And they will bring those home to you to use when you arrive at those gyms. As of right now, for home swimming events, no fans are allowed to attend those. We are working with Central Iowa Sports Network to live stream all of our home swimming meets and our boys and girls basketball games, either through the CISN platform on YouTube, or we will utilize the West Des Moines Community Schools YouTube page and stream through our huddle. Concessions at Valley High School will be open on game and competition nights. It is located in the north hallway between the north gym and the Fieldhouse. A full menu will be available. We'd like to thank Sergeant Golay with the Iowa National Guard for providing us one of our main sanitizing stations with hand sanitizer. You will see this in the main hallway between both gyms, and there will also be individual stations set up outside of the entrances. Inside the Valley Fieldhouse, you will find the bleachers already pre-marked in groups of seating of 2. You'll sit in the same groups that you use when you check in with the ticket seller for your 2-ticket allotment. The blue tape indicates where we want you to sit. If there's no blue tape, do not sit there so we can properly make sure everybody's social distance within our bleachers. The front row of the bleachers will not be used. We will keep those open. So again, if there's no blue tape, do not sit there. To keep our fans and our players and coaches separated during competitions, the games are going to look a little different this year. We're going to have all the fans sit in the east bleachers and we're moving the player benches and the scorers table to the west sideline. There will be no fans sitting on the west sideline. That is strictly for players and coaches in the scorers table. While you're sitting in the bleachers here in the Fieldhouse, we encourage all home fans to sit on the north portion of the east bleachers and the visiting fans on the south portion of the east bleachers. Both the upper and lower portions will be open for every game to allow people to spread out and sit socially distanced. At the conclusion of the game that you're here to attend, we encourage you to leave the gym immediately, either through the north main doors by the main office or out through the south doors and through the west entrance. We need time to come in here and disinfect the bleachers and the seating to allow the next group of fans to come in for the following game.
When the game is over, we're going to ask you, if you're a Valley fan sitting on this half, that you exit and go out the main north Valley doors. If you're a visiting fan and you're on this half of the bleachers, we're going to have you go out those west doors and right out the west main entrance out to the west parking lot to your car. We're really looking forward to hosting you and having everybody here back again to watch Valley Athletics here at the Fieldhouse. Have a great break, and we look forward to seeing you back in January.